The first day of spring is a really special day, and not just because it's when we start thinking about flowers blooming and the days warming up and birds coming back from their winter home. It's because the first day of spring is also when something special happens, something called an equinox. Isn't that such a cool word? But what does it mean? Well, before we can understand exactly what an equinox is, we'll need to learn a little bit about the Earth. Specifically, how the Earth moves. Even though you don't feel it, the Earth is always moving. In fact, it's moving in two different ways. First, right now, the Earth is moving around the sun like this. It takes a whole year for the Earth to go around the sun one time. And secondly, at the same time, the Earth also spins around in place, like this. If you've ever played with a toy top, then you know the top spins around its center. So does the Earth. It spins around an imaginary line that we call the axis. The Earth's axis runs up and down this way, right through the North Pole and the South Pole. But the Earth's axis isn't exactly straight up and down. It's tilted just a little bit. So for most of the year, one half of the Earth is tilted toward the sun, and the other half of the Earth is tilted away from the sun. And that little bit of tilt makes a lot of difference down here on the ground. That's because the half of the Earth that's tilted toward the sun gets more direct sunlight, which means it's warmer there and the days are longer. When that half of the Earth is tilted toward the sun as far as it can go, it's summer there. And at the same time, the half that's pointing away gets less direct sunlight. So the days are shorter and colder, and there, it's winter. Now, as the Earth moves this way around the sun, the top half and the bottom half of the Earth change which way they're tilting. After a few months, the part that was tilting toward the sun starts to tilt away, and the part that was leaning away starts to lean towards it. This whole cycle, with the different parts of the Earth getting more and then less direct sunlight throughout the year, is why we have seasons. But there are 2 times a year when neither side of the Earth is pointing toward the sun. Halfway between when one half is tilted toward the sun and when the other half is tilted away from the sun, the part that's getting the most direct light from the sun is right in the middle. Around the middle of the Earth, there's an imaginary line called the equator. And when the equator is getting the most direct light from the sun, then both halves of our planet get the same or equal amounts of light. And hey, equal kind of sounds like equinox. And on an equinox, everything is kind of in the middle. Temperatures are often warmer than they were in the winter, but not as warm as they will be in the summer. And the days are longer than they were in the winter, but not as long as they're going to get in the summer. Sounds like this describes spring perfectly. The spring equinox happens around March 21st. And where I live, up here, this part of the Earth starts to tilt more towards the sun and gets more direct sunlight. This means we're leaving the colder, shorter days of winter and starting to get the warmer, longer days of spring and summer. Now, there's another equinox too, because remember I said there are 2 times a year when neither half of the Earth is pointed toward the sun. After summer's over, the part of the Earth that was leaning toward the sun starts to tilt away. Right around September 21st, the most direct sunlight hits the Earth at the equator again. And as that part of the Earth continues to tilt away, it will head into autumn and eventually winter. But for now, where I live, we're looking forward to our part of the Earth tilting toward the sun, which means that warmer weather and longer days are on the way. So until next time, happy spring equinox. Do you have a question for us? If you do, ask a grown-up to help you. Leave a comment down below or send us an email to kids@scishow.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time here at the fort.
Good morning, Harvest Hawks. How are we this fine Monday? All right, happy Monday, March 17th. It is St. Patrick's Day. You're going to see a lot of green today because St. Patrick's Day is tied with Ireland, and green is one of their colors that they, well, because it rains there a lot, their whole country's green. I think that's part of it. Anyways, but there's more to it. Someone wants to debunk my theory. Come on, bring it. I'd love to hear you research away and debunk my theory. I love it when people can find other reasons. All right, so we are still in Ramadan. So my friends who are using my office are still welcome to come to my office during meal times when they are fasting. All right, Science Olympiad practices today. We have the track championships coming up on the 20th. There's a lot going on the 20th. We've got a field trip for first grade going on the 20th. We've got track championships at Collegian Stadium on the 20th. You guys are going to leave here around the same time wrestling did. The bus should be here around noon. We'll call you up, okay? And then also that night, we're also going to have Family Learning Night, which is the first ever for us. Your teachers have been working hard on this. They've been putting together a fun activity that you can do with your parents. A lot of them are science-based, some aren't. That's fun. It's a learning night. That's the whole point. But on top of that, we are also going to have food trucks here, music outside. Okay, so we're going to have it's just going to be a fun night for your family to come out. It's this Thursday. Food trucks are going to start serving food around 5, and the activities will start at 5:30. Food trucks will be here till 7, and the activities are going to run until 6:30. Okay, so the food trucks are going to last longer than the activities, and that's okay, because the food trucks are here for fun and yum, and that's why we're excited about it. There's going to be Me and Ed's, so pizza and Tacolandia available for you guys. And 6th grade is going to be selling beverages and some other things. So we're very excited about this Thursday and all the fun that everybody has planned. Okay. This Friday is a Spirit Day. For this Spirit Day, I'm asking that, hold on, let me find my notes because it's been on a long weekend. All right. Spirit wear or bright colorful socks. Okay. It happens to be World Down Syndrome Day on Friday. It's also the spring equinox on Friday. So wear those bright colorful socks. Let's welcome in spring. Let's celebrate everybody's differentness and in the world, and wear your Hawk square on top of it. It's going to be a fun day, and I'm hoping with the weather being on our side, we'll be able to sell popsicles, okay? So that's the goal this Friday. Popsicles, bright, colorful socks, Hawkwear, spring equinox. Spring's coming. I'm excited. Next week is a full week of half days. I put that in my morning announcements today. I'm going to put it to remind you next week. I've also put it in my parent announcements. So please remind your parents to read that. Because I know the first day we get a lot of people who are like, oh, I forgot. So just remind your parents that it is short days all week next week, so parents can meet with teachers. If your parents are not meeting with your teacher, that's fine. The teachers have decided who they need to meet with, who they're concerned about, who they want to talk to your parents about. It's not going to be everybody. It's going to be the people that might need the conference more than others. Okay. Also, new activity alert. We are going to do a school-wide vocabulary activity. I've asked your teachers to come up with some words that they think everyone should know. And when you come into the office, you're going to see some of the staff wearing a word on their on their shirt. Me especially will be wearing one. So some of the words that we're going to start with are going to come from these lists that your teachers came up with. A lot of these words you might think you know, but we're going to keep them in the unknown category until you can show us that you've mastered it. If you can show us and use the word the right way, there's going to be a Hawks ticket in it for you. Okay? So some of our 5 words for this week are going to be a mix between the words from TK and first grade. Okay. Our first word is compare. Compare. When you compare two things, you're looking at what they have in common. Okay? Compare. Instead. Instead. Instead of doing this, why don't you do this? Right? Instead. All right. Predict. Predict. I predict it's going to rain today. I think I might be right. So that's word number 3, predict. Word number 4, intend. Intend. It's sort of like what's your goal? What are you trying to do? I intend to make it to the end of the week with a smile on my face. I intend to do that. Intend. And then our last word for this week is infer. Infer. It's like an educated guess. I infer that you are going to have fun with this, and I'm going to see a lot of golden tickets going out to all of our friends out here, okay? That's my inference for the day. All right. So use your words if people are wearing a word and you can use it correctly and you get it correct, you're going to get a ticket. Okay, so our good affirmation for the day aligns with our goal this week, this month, about respecting others, and our one for next month, which is showing kindness to others. I am good at making friends. Repeat after me. I am good at making friends. I'm going to introduce myself to someone new today. You might not think you know everybody, but I can bet you money there's someone you think you know that you don't know all that well, and this is your chance to get to know them better. Okay? So, go out there and let's make some more friends. Let's be kind to each other and show us what you got with these vocab words, okay? So again, compare, instead, intend, predict, and infer. Those are our 5 words for this week. All right, so good luck, be great, make good choices, and I'll see you out there.